Hey everybody, it is week 5 of our great adventure, and I know that I did not do a video for week 4. I was starting to, and things came up where I got super busy and I kind of let things get in the way of putting up my video. So I am deeply sorry for that. And if you notice that I didn't really say a day 1, day 2 in this video, is because we're not going to have it split up into days. This is the only day I'm actually recording a video. It's the very end of the week. I wanted to really focus on my whole week in one sitting so that I can give you the best experience of what I was thinking when I was going through the whole week in one summary, instead of giving you piece by piece and trying to bring it all together at the very end. So let me actually try to get you all caught up in the last 2 weeks. Last week I had the opportunity to be able to sit down in a recording studio and to learn how to do a lot of the ins and outs of it, and it was a great opportunity. It was great. I got to hang out with the bishop. He really showed me some stuff, just letting me sit there and watch him work and let me ask questions, and it was awesome. Ended up losing a lot of sleep from it though, and I felt like I was overstepping myself in where I needed to be doing and really stretching what I was capable of and not putting my priorities straight, I guess you can say. So I needed to really step back and really figure things out. So by the time I was about to put up last week's video, then a little sickness came through my household, and that kind of slowed things down as well, so I wasn't able to. But with that, those are all excuses. I'm going to be straight out with that, and I wanted to really try to come back from that, and I wanted to be forthcoming with that so that I'm still held accountable, which actually I'm very thankful for my Aunt Linda, because she had reached out to me. She didn't even have my phone number, and she reached out to me. She was able to catch me through Facebook Messenger. She called me. It was great because she really is keeping me accountable. She was really keeping me in the right mindset and keeping me motivated also. So that's exactly one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that I was doing these videos and putting myself out there and throwing myself out there, is so that I could have those opportunities to not only have a family member reach out to me and talk to me about what's going on, but she was worried. She wanted to check up on me, and it's great for that fire to still be burning in me and to rekindle it, even if I feel like I'm feeling down or sick and things like that. It's good that God puts those type of people in your life, and to cherish those and to always be thankful for those people. So thank you, Aunt Linda. I appreciate it very much. And so coming back into this week's word, this week it was pretty hectic. I'm trying to remember everything right now actually, but I had Ignite this week, which is the youth adults get together where we get to do talk and really do some fellowship with each other and go through those things. And we had someone talk where they brought up the in 2 Corinthians, it talks about having a thorn in our side, and I can't remember exactly the wording right now, and but there's a thorn in our side, and we're continuing on through life with this thorn, and how we will live with it. We will just sit there and we'll deal with it, and you get so used to it, to the fact that you don't even notice that you have this thorn because you've gotten so used to life being that way. So I thought it was a great message. Everyone that was there really took onto it really well. They latched on to that information, and it was great. Paulina was the one that gave the word, so that was a great word, Paulina. So it was really awesome, and it really made me think about a lot of things that I held on to since I was younger, and things that we all hold on to, like little gripes and little issues that it doesn't even have to be big, just things that make us the way we are, the way that we think, the way that we interact with other people. Being a little bit more personal in my situation, I grew up in a household where it wasn't stable, it wasn't very, it wasn't the best of households at all in any kind of way or form, very chaotic, lots of things going on in there. Both parents were involved in drugs, and luckily now they're both past that and they're both being saved, and very thankful for God being able to work in both of my parents' lives and pushing them past those issues that they've had. So, but growing up, I remember seeing so many different things from living in hotels to being a part of burglaries, watching my parents break into cars and really put themselves in situations that weren't necessary. Remember seeing my dad getting stabbed, or my parents dumpster diving, and all these different scenarios, whole bunch of different things, getting yelled at for walking into the kitchen because they were getting drugs ready to take, all these different things. Those are just some basic scenarios that I remember, but try not to go into too much detail, but those were issues that I carried with all my life. They built me into the person I am today, which thankfully that God had favored me with the ability to distinguish what was good and what was bad, what was the right path for me, what I wanted to not be a part of, and what I did want to be a part of, and how I wanted to live my life. So I'm thankful for the grace of God being able to give me that type of mindset at a very, very young age. Lots of kids these days hold on to a lot of the interactions that they have when they're younger and feed off of it, where in a negative way, and they continue on down a path that really brings them into this world of pain and just loneliness and being lost, trying to figure out their way in the world, and then just lashing out at everyone around them. So being able to not get caught up in that kind of lifestyle was definitely God's hand on my life, and I'm so grateful for him, because I am where I am today because of God, no doubt about it. I am here. I have 2 amazing kids. I am surrounded by people, not only in my church, but just at work and everything, that are super supportive, that are always there for me, that are very confident in my skills, and they're and opening up to me, and they trust me, they believe in me. There's so many different things, and I'm so grateful for that. So having those, there's still going to be those thorns though that we hold on to, no matter what we go through, even if you don't have a lot of things that you had gone through when you were younger, or things that didn't seem like as bad as someone else's burdens or pain that they went through. You still have your pain. You still have a pain. You still have that thorn that's going to be lodged in your side that really defines the way you interact with people. It could be that you just were yelled at tremendously over and over and over, that at a young age that you felt like you deserved being yelled at, so you deserved to lessen yourself, or to bring yourself down, giving your self-esteem a lower bar of where it really is. There's all those different things. So it doesn't matter if it's big or small, there's always going to be something that holds you at this position where you're held back by it, and we feed off of it. So that was kind of what we went through at Ignite. Amazing word, loved it, and I definitely recommend it. Everyone to, if you're from 18 to 35, definitely join us in that. Ignite is this amazing fellowship of youth, and it's now 2 times a month, every other week. So I will definitely put it up for you guys here somewhere on this side or this side. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so definitely put the information up for you for the new schedule. Then for today at church, 2 services, tremendous day of just worship and opening up and healing and really finding God and being in His presence. There's in the morning we went over Daniel and the lion den, and actually I just realized I don't think I wrote down the verse in scripture of it, but pretty much what was happening is there's Daniel, and now I'm trying to remember everything, but we're just gonna put this down. So with that, Daniel was an advisor in Babylonian for the king, and Daniel he praised God, he loved God, he was a man of God, and it was very uncommon in Babylonia because they had their own gods. They believed in their own things. They believed that the king was a god, and so. But the king was so good at what he did. It was because of Daniel, and how well he helped the king and advised the king and doing everything. So it came to a point though where people around them were jealous, and they didn't like the relationship that Daniel had with the king, and so they wanted to break it. And so they manipulated the king into by praising him, saying how great a king he was, how wonderful a king he was, and said that they should have a month for the king where nobody prays no one does any kind of praying except to praise the king, and it will be his month. And so he thought it was an amazing idea because he felt like these people were trying to help him and everything and trying to really be there for him and like hold him up high and everything like that. But it came down to the point where he made this law, and after making it law, Daniel prayed. Daniel was a praying man because he believed in God. He was faithful to God, and so it came down to being faithful and to God, or to being loyal to the king, and he chose God. And so with that, in the Babylonian culture, I believe I'm saying this right, but sorry if I get it wrong, but so in the culture that once the king says something, then it becomes set in stone. Like there's no going back on it. The king can't take it back, because since he was to be believed as a god, then whatever his word was gold, pretty much, and it was to be. So there was no way for him to take that back at all. Well, these other people around them found out that Daniel was praying, and so they told the king, and the king knew that he made a mistake right then and there, that he had to reprimand Daniel. He tried to think of anything and everything that he could to try to save Daniel from this situation, but he was unable to. Every earthly thing that he could think of was not capable of saving Daniel from the reprimand that he was about to come through. So, being so hurt and so distraught by it that he couldn't even look at him, so he told them to take Daniel into the lion's den, to lock him up in there, and to cover it up, and that they'd put his seal on and put the noble seal on, and then no one could touch it at all. And so with that, then the king left Daniel in the lion's den, and as he told Daniel that to pray to God, because he's done everything that he could to save him. But even with that, like, only God, his God, he said, pray to your God for he will save you, and see if he can save you. And so the king went, and he could not sleep, and he could not even rest because of what was going on, because he cherished the relationship he had with Daniel. They had an amazing relationship, to the point where Daniel and the king's relationship, sorry, I don't remember the king's name right now, but Daniel and the king's relationship was so strong that the king, as a sinner, and Daniel, as a believer, Daniel brought the king to believe and to have faith in his God, and to Daniel's God, to our God, our wonderful and faithful God, because of it. So the king couldn't sleep. He was so distraught by what was going on, and so the next morning he goes to check up on Daniel, running to see if he's okay, and he says, Daniel, has your God saved you? And then so with that, he was able to, Daniel was there, and he told him to, I'm sorry, I got a headache, so it's kind of hard to think right now. But so Daniel, he pretty much says that he's here, and that God is faithful, and that he's not even scratched. So he comes out unscratched, and by the faith of God, and he was protected by God. So with that long story of everything I was just saying, we go through so many different things. We go through different trials and tribulations, and so many things that really test us, really test our mettle, and we go through things that God lets happen too. That we won't always be told yes, and depending if we will be this person of maturity in God, that we can handle him saying no to us, where we want something here, but God brings it down here and brings it into this other hand and says, no, but you need this. You need this, my child, and this is what I'm going to give you. But before we can get to this, you have to travel over to here. You have to go through this so that you can reach what you need. I know you want this, but this is where you're gonna get what you need. So to be able to really keep your mind open on what's going on in your life, to really give it to God, to have faith in God, and to not just take the good and praise the good, and when the bad comes, curse what's going on, curse God or curse the people around you. It's about always being there at that moment of being thankful and being faithful, and always holding God close to you, and his word, and holding it tight, and knowing that no matter what happens, God has you, because he is a way maker. He is a redeemer of lives. He is a reviver of souls, and he will keep you safe no matter what. He will put you in a situation to help you learn, but will never put you in over your head where you will get hurt to the point where you will not survive. He will always be there to hold you, to guide you, and to cherish you and to love you. So always remember that. Just no matter what you're going through, no matter whether it be financial issues, or your family is broken, or you're getting to a point where you feel like you can't be at your job because of some kind of situation, or you just can't talk to people, or there's always going to be God to help you, to guide you, to hold you, to cover you, to shield you, to to fight for you. He will always be there because you are always on his mind. And so that's kind of my message for today, for the week. Keep strong in everything you do. Keep faithful. Remember to keep praying. Always keep prayer in your routine throughout the day. Remember to always be talking to everybody, or not talking to everybody, but be open with people about what's going on in your faith. I believe that being open and keeping it vocalized really keeps you strong in it too. I've come into situations like the last week or so where I didn't think I would have to do something like that for people. I'm praying over people, talking to people about different things, just so we have a better understanding, where they get a better understanding and I get a better understanding, and just building on each other. Sorry. So just kind of want to leave it at that. Thank you once again for watching my videos. It's been a wild ride so far. Still just the beginning. I have a whole bunch of weeks ahead of me to keep up with, but definitely thank you for sticking in there with me, supporting me, keeping me accountable, and just listening. So all right, so I kind of got cut off right now because of some technical difficulties. My camera kind of turned off, but I wanted to say thank you for watching, and I can't wait to talk to you guys next week. So have a great week, and I love you all, and God bless. All right, thank you.